All right, ladies and gentlemen, thank you for tuning back into episode 3 of the Practice Room podcast. My name is Cody Thurber. I'm your host, and I'm joined today by one of my good friends, fellow music educators, Morris Arena. Morris, thank you for being on the Practice Room.
Yeah, thanks for having me, man.
All right, so give our listeners a brief introduction of yourself and where you fit within the music world.
Sure. So my name is Morris Arena. I am a music teacher and musician in the Baton Rouge area, and I've been teaching for 3 years. And then I also play trumpet and music as well for fun, and teach after school lessons. So I've been kind of in the music realm for a couple of years now.
Okay.
So, yeah, I'm enjoying it.
Nice. So give our listeners some insight. How did you first get your start in the music world?
Yeah, so I all started when I was about 5 years old. I've been playing piano since I was 5 and 27 now, so I was about like 23 years.
Oh, wow.
Yeah, and then I didn't started piano, and then I got into band when I was 10, and that's when I started playing trumpet. And then after that, I started getting more serious into music from that. Basically, after a couple years in band and playing piano.
Okay, so what first sparked an interest with piano?
Piano? Well, see, my mom just signed me up, but originally I played guitar, and my fingers are too small to play guitar, so it will hurt my fingers. So my mom said, hey, why don't we put you in piano? And once I played piano, how I got really into it was my grandfather. He was from Mexico, and he would come visit us a couple times a year. And so he would tell me, oh, for every song you would play, I'll give you a quarter. So I decided, all right, so I would play every single song I learned from my piano teacher, and when he would come, I would just play the whole book, and I would just have like so much quarters and money from him. So that's kind of how it started,
Yeah.
Just a quarter for every song, and for a little kid, a quarter's like a lot of money. So
Hey, a quarter for a little kid, you're rich.
yeah, exactly.
Okay, so you had some positive family motivation.
Yeah, exactly.
With music.
Yeah.
So you started piano when you were 6, and then you kind of transitioned to band when you were 10, correct?
Yeah, no, I'm STEM.
What made you want to get into band?
So, funny story. So I was homeschooled at the time, and so I wasn't really involved in anything because I was only homeschooled for about a year. And so there was not really a band program at a school except for one. So my mom told me, hey, you're at the house a lot. I'm going to give you the option between band. You could play trumpet in band. She already had an instrument for me. Or you could play basketball. And so I was never really athletic, to be honest. So I told myself, I don't really want to run, but I like music. So I told my mom, I want to play band. So I played, and that's how I actually got started in band. Because I didn't want to run or play, or I wasn't really athletic. I'm like, you know what? I want to play music. That's what I want to do. So I figured it'd be fun. And yeah, I enjoyed my time.
Nice. So started at trumpet.
Mm-hmm.
And I assume you continued in that program all the way until you were ready to go to college.
Yeah.
Through high school.
Yeah.
Talk us through that program.
Yeah, so it was called the Baton Rouge Area Youth Symphonic Band, and it was around for a couple years. And so what we would do is we would play at the Rural Life Museum for a Christmas concert. We would play at different venues. I think one year we went to New Orleans and played at I think it was the World War II Museum. Mm-hmm. We played a whole bunch of jazz music. And so it was just a really good community. It was kind of like a community band, and so anybody could join. Homeschoolers, kids from public school. We had a lot of kids join the band.
Okay.
Yeah, and then when my band director passed away, it kind of died. But then I'm actually taking over it right now.
Really?
Yeah. So it's not exactly the same program, but it's just a small community of like homeschoolers right now, and we're kind of growing a little bit. But it's kind of interesting, like being that program, and now I'm like taking over and starting off with the homeschoolers. So yeah.
So I assume that your former director and that program as a whole really had a lasting impact on you. If you've taken that program now.
Yeah, exactly. And like some of the parents that were in it, I taught their kids, and they're with me in band. So it's interesting seeing like the next generation. Like there are other kids in the band program too. And yeah, I actually have some of the music from my old band director too that we played.
Really?
Yeah, too.
Oh,
so
wow.
I was like, oh, I remember this piece. Let's play this piece whenever I was in band. So it was like Christmas chimes and all these other songs too. So
that's got to be very surreal.
Yeah. I was like, hey guys, this is music we played literally not too long ago, like just a couple years whenever I was in band. So yeah.
Oh man! But of course, any music educator will back this up. To the little kids, anything that happened in the past is forever ago, and every music teacher is 200 years old.
Of course, yeah. So when I was born in 2019, they're like, it could be so long.
Oh man.
Yeah.
And so you played trumpet all throughout your grade school experience with the Baton Rouge Youth Symphonic Band.
Yeah, Braze. Yeah, for short.
I know you mentioned some of the performance opportunities you had. What's one of those performance opportunities that really stood out to you and that you look back on now and you see that as like a building block moment in your music career?
Yeah, I would say the most memorable moment was whenever it was probably my senior year of high school. It was like my last concert ever to be in a program. And so I think we played one like this very, very fun and difficult piece. I think I had a solo in it. And what I really liked about it was like we've gone to the point where we have played such great music, and it was like my last year being with all like my band director, all my friends in the program. And so just kind of playing our last concert was like the best moment. So I'm like, yeah, I get to finish this out. I get to show everybody like the solo I've been practicing, and it was good. So I love people tell me like, I still remember that solo. I think we played Parts of the Caribbean. I played the trumpet solo. This guy told me I still remember that solo. It was fantastic, and so that was like one of my memorable moments in Brace.
Oh, that's
like
awesome.
That solo from Pirates of the Caribbean. I think it's like da na 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 na. Yeah, the one. So yeah, it was good.
Man, nice. So it definitely sounds like growing up as a adolescent that music was definitely positive for you.
Oh yeah, like
very positive.
Yeah, like everybody in my life, from band directors, teachers, parents, even other parents too, were always very supportive.
Okay.
Which I think that's very important. That's what makes it or break it when you're pursuing music, having that positive environment.
Yes. And I mean, not just with music. I mean, anything in life with kids. I mean, they need positive support.
Yes. Yes.
And that's one thing I know both of us with being music educators for 3 years now. Yeah. I mean, the kids have to have support. They have to have support in anything they do.
Oh yeah. Yeah.
That's very good. That's very good. Tell us a little about that band director that you had.
His name is Mr. Ronnie Sherlock, and he was actually a retired director. He was at Sherwood Middle School for about 20 years, and so he was just very well known in the community as just being a band director in the community. And what he would do, what I liked about him was, it didn't matter who you were, you could talk to him and he would connect with you, and he would ask you questions about life, and he also was involved in so many things. Like, he did so many good things for the community. Like, we would do like a donation drive for it was the kids. I forgot the name of it's like a house for kids who were basically pulled from their families, like due to legal reasons. And so I forgot the name of the house, but we would like get presents for them and make parties for them.
Wow.
And so like these kids came from like really rough situations. But we would play music for them, and so he would just do this because he loved those kids. Like, he really looked out for them. So he was great, just like being a really good community member, and so he was just a person that it didn't matter who you were, he was willing to help you out. I know he helped me out too, like with my family. Like we couldn't always afford like the brand newest instruments, but he would try to help us out in any way. Like, hey, I can find this place for you to find this instrument from this guy. He can set you up with a good instrument. So I know we just really liked him. Like, I feel like we need more people like that in the world. So yeah, I wish we had more Mr. Sherlocks in the world.
That's really good. Yeah. And any music educator around Baton Rouge knows the history that the Sherwood Middle program has, and your director's a big part of that. Yeah. And it really stood out to me what you were saying about Mr. Sherlock doing those community outreach events for those less fortunate kids, and with students like yourself that couldn't always afford the best newest, the best instruments, how he would do what he could to still put those kids in success and make sure they were set up for future success.
Yeah, so, exactly.
really sounds like you had a really good situation with your music education.
Yeah, it was great.
Good.
Yeah.
So you've reached the end of your time in high school.
Mm-hmm.
You kicked butt on that Pirates of the Caribbean solo.
Yeah.
Now what? You got to look at colleges.
Yeah.
What factors went into your college choice?
So at the time, I knew I wanted to go to college. It was actually between business or music.
Mm-hmm.
My family would tell me you should go into business because you'll make more money. And so I told myself, well, I like, I love working with making money, making business, but also I love music.
Yeah.
And so what that choice was, I had a really good trumpet professor at LSU. His name is Dr. Van Jale. And he hosted, it was like a trumpet festival event for high schoolers. And so when I went in there, and he was a phenomenal teacher. He was like, this is how you play trumpet. This is such an embouchure. And he just opened this new world of music. And at the time, I knew I wanted to study music, and I knew I wanted to be a director or a music teacher. But seeing him as a teacher, or specifically in trumpet, influenced me. Like, hey, I want to play just like him. He sounds amazing. I don't know. I never heard anybody play the trumpet like him. And so after going to LSU in my senior year, playing in the trumpet festival ensemble, I'm like, I want to do this. And so afterwards, I came up to him like, hey, I want to go to school here. I want to learn I want to be a music teacher. Can you help me? Can you help me in any way to get to the school? And he said, yeah, I'll help you. I'll help you out, and I'll set you up to talk to somebody. So that's what really got me into music, is having another positive role model, someone I could look up to and learn from.
So it sounds like attending the trumpet festival was really a life-changing experience for you.
Yes, yeah, definitely. It's like this is what music could be like afterwards, after high school, past it. So yeah.
Mm-hmm. So attended trumpet festival, you instantly knew Louisiana State University is where you want to go, and you knew that I want to study musician. I want to be a music educator as well.
Yeah.
So, let me follow that up real quick. So, if any high school seniors find themselves watching this episode of the Practice Room, what advice would you give them on picking a college and picking a major, which will turn into their career?
Yeah, so what I would say is if there's anything that the university is offering, whether it's a music festival, a workshop, a woodwind day, read day, even just like a college day, like, hey, come check out our programs, come talk to the professors, do those things, because when you go to the university, you want to be able to connect with it. Like you don't want to go to like I would say like kind of go to a job, but you don't really feel like you're involved in the job. You're just kind of like just a person filling up a space. And so what I say is like, do those things. If a university has even anything, like come check out our university, come talk to our professors, go to those things, and decide, hey, I really like the community here. I like what they're offering. I like the classes they offer. And they might have something for everyone. Like if you're into music, but you also have another interest in science or something, and they can offer you both, and you can have those two things, that's the university you want to go to. So you want to pick a college based on what you want to do, or anything in life. Like even if like you don't go to college, but you go to a trade school or anything, go to those opportunities and say, hey, I want to check it out, talk to these people. And I want to figure out if this is what I really want to do. So
yeah. One of those early points you made was big, how so many people go to a job and they're just a person there doing the task. It's so important that young people explore all the opportunities that are around for themselves, so that they can really find something that they're passionate about, and whether that's music or another avenue.
Yeah.
But everyone owes it to themselves to find out what they're passionate about and turn that passion into a career.
Yeah, definitely.
Yeah,
I would say if you just go in with an open mind, saying like, hey, this is what I really want to do, or whoever's helping you in a way, how can I get there? And like when people take notice of that, they're more willing to work with you because basically they're looking at you like, oh, this person knows what they want, they're serious about it. I'm definitely going to help and connect with you. So really, it's just being passionate and be like, hey, this is what I really want to do. I'm interested. Yeah. And you just take every opportunity that you can get. So
yeah. Take every opportunity you can get. That's gonna be the tagline for this. Take every opportunity you can get.
Exactly.
All right, boom. Mr. Arena's catchphrase right there.
There you go. That's like one. That's like one that sticks.
Oh man, we probably have a few more.
Sure.
That we're not gonna say on here.
Oh yeah, for sure.
Oh man. All right, so give us an overview of the college experience for yourself. So at this point, you've decided that you want to go to LSU, that you want to study music, with music education and trumpet with Dr. Banjel. Talk us through your time at LSU. So, like how about your course load?
Yeah, so I would say the course load was pretty. For music education, it's pretty rigorous. It's like you have like the most amount of hours compared to any other student. So like normal degree is like 4 years. Music education, they recommend it 5 years because of the course load. Mm-hmm. So going into it, I knew, man, I really have to really plan my hours and making sure that I have enough time to take care of myself and also study as well, and also practice too. So one thing, I don't know who said this, but someone told me going into music is not for the faint of heart, because not only you're a student, you're a musician, you're a teacher most likely because you have to teach someone. So it's really intensive. So not to scare anybody away, but that's why I say like, hey, if you're serious about doing this, you can make the sacrifice and you can compromise for it. So I would say for me it was really positive, but sometimes stressful. I really had to have a calendar, make sure I had all my practice sessions in the day and taking my course load. But I also try to make time for friends too. So like like senior year, like we were in Kappa Psi together. Yeah. I was an RA, so I got to meet a lot of other students who weren't in music, got to connect with them that way. And then I was also involved at the music it's called the LSU Trumpet Club as well. So I was a secretary for there. So I would say I was involved with a lot of things, and I was super busy at the time. And yeah, it was good. I enjoyed it. It could be stressful at times, but I always found a way to de-stress and take time for me as well.
Yeah, no, I mean that's always important. I mean, no matter what major you're in, no matter what career field you find yourself in, I mean, you always have to make time for yourself, so that you can, when you are with your students, when you are in your career field, that you are always the best version of you for your students. Yeah. I know I've heard that from many mentors, that you always want to be the best version of yourself.
Yeah.
And yeah, so I know early in both of our band director careers, I know we would spitball items back to each other, and I know a lot of times we both found ourselves not making enough time for ourself as a person. Mm-hmm. You're always trying to get something done for the program because you care about the program.
Yeah.
But newsflash, there's always going to be something that has to get done. There's always going to be something that has to get done. If there's nothing that needs to get done, then your school must have closed permanently.
Yeah, essentially.
Yeah. You have to know, like setting a schedule. That was a good point that you brought up.
Yeah, you just having a schedule and making time for those classes too. So, yeah, I would say so. Yeah, I would say so too. Yeah, and then plus like the courses we had to take too. Like not only were you just like learning about music, you also had to like learn music theory, had to learn about music history. Just like all these things that at the moment you're like, I don't know when I'm going to use this, but then later on like, oh, I remember about this piece. And we're learning about it, or this chord progression I'm seeing in real music. So all of these things, it kind of works out in the end, like all the courses you take. or even just talking about like anatomy too. Like you're like learning about the anatomy of the body, like in your science classes. I even have to explain how the lungs work, how where your diaphragm is. So essentially, the college experience did help me when it came to music.
Okay, so definitely sounds like a pretty wide variety of courses. So with music history, music theory, and then you were in college during COVID-19 pandemic as well.
Yeah, that was an experience.
Yeah, so I know some already pretty rigorous course load. I would say I can't imagine, but no, I was in those classes with you, so I know exactly how it was.
Yeah, we had a lot of classes together, which kind of helped.
Yeah.
Help having a friend studying late at night, doing the same courses together, and keeping each other accountable and on track. So I think it's another thing that people don't realize. Like, have somebody you can work with. And you never know. You could be friends years later. Years later, or you're hanging out over the weekend or something like that. So passing and talk about, hey, remember that exam we took, or those late study night sessions too. So So
now I remember at the end of our time at LSU, we had we have a music ed comprehension exam, and each Bachelor of Music Education candidate goes into a room with the music ed faculty, and you essentially have a panel discussion on different concepts where this faculty member will ask you a question pertaining to this subject. That faculty member asks you a question pertaining to that subject, so on and so forth. And you have to be able to not just fill the room with sound, but you have to know what you are talking about.
Yes. Yeah.
And I know for like a month, 2 months before the exam, we were regularly coming to the LSU library where we're filming today, actually.
Yep. Many hours.
We spent many late nights here at the LSU library working on
just studying for everything, teaching,
building up our comprehension on everything we had to prepare for, and study here, leave here like 2-3 a.m. sometimes, head over to the Raisin Cane's small sliders, get some very very late dinner after those very late study sessions.
That was the best part. That was the best part. Going down, it's like, yes, get my canes after late night study.
It's like, okay, it's like from SpongeBob, where like, everyone watching this has seen SpongeBob. If you haven't, you're uncultured. But Patrick Star has his alarm set for 3 a.m. Alarm goes off. Oh boy, 3 a.m. And he pulls a Krabby Patty out from under his pillow and starts to eat it. Mm-hmm. That was us, essentially. We'd get to like 2 a.m. here at the LSU library. Time to get food.
Time to eat. I can't think no more. I can't think no more. Oh yeah.
Oh yeah. Yeah. So the course. So went over the course load a little. I know you mentioned you were a part of some other organizations at LSU, such as Kappa Psi, like the Trumpet Society.
I did the LSU Trumpet Club.
The LSU Trumpet Club. Talk a little about both of those.
Yeah, so these were like specifically music, like music clubs. So Kappa Psi, this was a brotherhood. It's different from other. Well, we were in it together. And then I got the bid from that year. But I like that one because it was a service fraternity where like we would like service the bands, the band programs. And also, I got to connect with other music majors and people who were in the band programs too.
Yeah.
And so I really liked it because I felt like it was like we had like this huge sense of community within each other and a huge sense of service. Like everybody in there was an awesome person, and like they were like such great people, and I still friends with them today. Like
yeah.
And so And so I just really enjoyed like how we would be like do service for Tiger Band and all these other opportunities. And then LSU Trumpet Club, that was more like us. It was like a sort of a way for us to play at different competitions and also create. And then what we did was we would perform at different venues and competitions. And so that was good too. And so and with that one, it was just like we would just kind of have a meeting once a month with our studio, and it was a way for our professor, and our professor was obviously our sponsor. And so yeah, I enjoyed that one too. But Kappa Kappa Psi was the one that I was like, okay, I'm glad I joined this, because I was always looking for an organization to join with music, and Kappa Kappa Psi was that one for me. So yeah.
As I mentioned on episode 1, where I talked with Robert Shedville Jr., Kappa Kappa Psi, it's definitely a good way. It was definitely a good way for us to get more involved with the music program here at our college. Make a lot of really good friends. A lot of friends we're still really close with.
Oh yeah.
and to help out the music program. I remember we did a lot of service projects here, whether it was raising money for new music stands and then putting those together, whether it was raising money to have music pieces commissioned for different instrumental studios here. I remember one project we did a lot is, so we have 3 concert ensembles here at LSU. We have the Wind Ensemble, directed by Dr. Damon Talley, the Symphonic Winds, which had a few different directors while we were here at LSU.
Yep.
I know Dr. Dennis Enos, Dr. Kelvin Jones, and Dr. Simon Halwico, and then the LSU Symphonic Band, which during our time, the directors of that group would have been Dr. Kelvin Jones, Dr. Cliff Crooms,
and other like TAs,
and Dr. Dante Douglas.
Yes.
And Dr. Dante Douglas.
Yeah.
D-Dog.
Yeah.
D-Dog. So, oh man.
Yeah.
D-Dog better be watching this.
Oh yeah.
But no, so the ensembles would have their dress rehearsal for performances, and then Kappa Kappa Psi would actually host a pizza dinner for the ensemble. So I know like the dress rehearsals, at times they'd be a little stressful. You know, you're in there, you want to do well in the dress rehearsal so you can do well in the concert tomorrow. And then we'd always host like the little dinner for them afterwards. It was always a good way for the ensemble members to relax, take some deep breaths, realize, okay, we're gonna do well.
Yeah.
And then
I remember one year that I actually didn't know it was Kappa Kappa Psi giving to pizzas, and I'm like, whoa, they're giving us pizzas for once, like this is awesome. And then I found out, I'm like, oh, it's Kappa Kappa Psi. It didn't really make sense to me at the time, but I'm like, but I remember Kappa Kappa Psi just like giving us pizzas, like asking us like, hey, are you ready for a concert, and just checking up on us. When I was in Symphonic Winds.
Yeah.
So I really like Kappa Kappa Psi. They really those things really made a difference.
Yeah, definitely helped strengthen the community aspect here here at LSU for us.
Exactly.
Yeah.
And I remember there's one community at Kappa Kappa Psi where they would just go into the music rooms and fix the music stands.
Yes.
So it would be nice going to a music room and be like, oh, this one's not broken today. It's fixed. So just little things like that Kappa Kappa Psi did, like to improve the lives of the musicians too. Especially have to practice for hours and hours and hours every day for whatever they have, a concert, recital, gig coming up. So
scale barriers.
Oh, those scale barriers.
Oh gosh. But yeah, so now Kappa Kappa Psi does a lot of positive things on campus, so that's for sure. I know one other thing you talked about with your on-campus involvement, you talked about your like being a residential assistant.
Yeah, being an RA.
Yeah. So you got free room and board essentially at college.
Yeah. I essentially did it so I could live on campus because I had to commute a lot, and with Baton Rouge traffic, it was terrible. So the RA experience gave me time to like stay on campus. I mean, I got a free room and board, and I had to do a couple things over the weekends, like walk around during LSU games, make game days, make sure nothing crazy was happening. I got to meet other people from other majors and got to connect with residents as well. I even the residents I did have, like, which a residence is just freshmen living in a dorm.
Yeah.
Which they didn't call it a dorm. They call it residential community. That was the thing. I was like, it's not a dorm.
Highbrow.
Not a dorm.
Highbrow.
It's a residential hall or a residential community. They never like call it a dorm.
Fancy.
Yeah. And so, yeah, it was good because I got to help them out, and I kind of knew how campus worked. So they, like, if anybody had a question, like, hey, how do I, like, one person asked me, hey, how do I find articles for a research paper? And I'm like, this is common knowledge. So I showed him Google Scholar, and he was like, thank you. Because I was looking in Google and trying to find, like, Wikipedia. I'm like, oh, no, don't use Wikipedia.
No.
Use Google Scholar. No. And just, like, small things like that I feel like I got to help freshmen out. It made me feel good. It made me feel good that they were being taken care of, and their experience at the campus was good. It was positive.
Yeah.
So, yeah.
Good. So you make it all the way through your college career. We're at graduation.
Mm-hmm.
What after graduation? So, like, how was the initial job search and just getting yourself established as a music educator?
Yeah. So, we were both in the process together. Like, essentially, it's what I did was prepare my resume, prepare for the job opportunity. And it's kind of hard because, as you know, here in Louisiana, being a music educator is competitive. Mm-hmm. So I know when you're finding a job, you're going up against the educators who have been, or music educators who have been in the field for a long time. Mm-hmm. So you essentially have to market myself, find where was I successful in. So what I did was I looked up every single job opportunity there was, like, in the private schools, public schools, which I'll get into private schools later, because I actually did not know that would be an opportunity for me, like it is now. And so what I did was, hey, I found schools that I was interested in, where I wanted to live, and I just researched them. And so I ultimately landed on one job. It was funny. Before I graduated, I interviewed for one job, and it was pretty positive. It was my first time interviewing at a real job too, so I was, like, super nervous at the time. And so, but essentially they liked what I said and, like, what I was offering for their program. So, and then I'll get into that too. Like, when you go into a job, any kind of job, specifically in music too, you want to come up with, like, what's your vision for the program and what you're going to teach and how you're going to assess students, and essentially what are you teaching. Because they want to know, like, who you are, what you're about, and, like, this is who I am. Because if you don't come in prepared to the job knowing what you're going to do and how you're going to teach, or your content, or what's your mindset, like who we are as a person, they're going to be like, okay, this person's not really serious about this. And that's essentially what helps you. That's what helped me get into the job field was, this is who I am, this is my program, and this is what I can do for you and the students. So yeah.
Okay, very cool. So you took some interviews, you got your first job. So so how was your first year as a music educator?
It was, I would say, it's very positive. It was a learning experience for me, because I thought, look, once you get a job, you're gonna go in and you're just gonna do great. That wasn't the case. I had to learn who I was as a teacher and learn my temperament, like what works for me. And so from that, I learned, okay, this is what works. This is what does not work. And so I learned, hey, these are the things I'm really good at. I need to stick with these things. And these are the things that help the students more. So essentially, I learned, hey, this is how to be a teacher. Because you're not just teaching a person or you're teaching music. You're kind of teaching like the whole person. You have to think about the whole person, and that's what they teach in our classes. It's like you're teaching the individual, and they're coming with these so much life experiences that could be different from yours.
And you have to figure out how to connect with each student as an individual, so that you have to connect with each student as an individual, so that you can get through to them as an educator at that point.
Exactly. Yeah. So I would say like that was like the most important thing for me was learning how to connect with the students, learning how to teach the individual students, and what's beneficial for essentially for the music program.
Yeah.
And make mistakes too. Like I would say like I'm the number one person who made the most mistakes.
Yeah.
the most mistakes, and not like good or bad, just like, oh, like next time I wish I would have done this at the time. But now that I had that experience, I know, hey, this is how you do things. And I use those experiences to make a better outcome for any situation I go into. So
and just knowing that it is okay to make mistakes.
Yeah.
Learn from your mistakes. Make your mistakes and learn from your mistakes. That's how you become great at something.
Exactly.
Yes.
Like if you were good at something, like from the get go, I wouldn't be applying for this job. I would be like some director of some music organization or some, so going into it like, okay, with like the growth mindset, I'm coming here to learn. This is my first time doing this. And it's okay that if you're not immediately like the best in that field, right? You are where you are for a reason, and just going from and just taking it one step at a time.
Yeah, help the students where you are. Learn to give yourself grace in making mistakes and learning from your mistakes. And if you do that, you'll be successful.
Essentially.
Yeah. I know. So right now you're with St. Jude Catholic School in Baton Rouge.
Yes. Yeah.
So what do you do there?
So I am the K-8 music teacher. So I'm in charge of the band program, the choir program, and I'm in charge of different like music things. So I'm still kind of I know what I'm in charge of. Like I'm in charge of Grandparents' Day, which is our biggest program of the year. Like we invite everyone's grandparents to come to this. It's so big. We have to have 2 days worth of performances.
Wow.
And it's great. Like every single grade performs a song, and essentially it's a theme. Like this year, our theme was Multicultural Day, where we celebrated like the students. Like what I try to do is I try to celebrate every student's identity. Like if their parents are from Venezuela, from India, like I would ask those parents, like, hey, would it be okay if we picked a song from your country or a song that's about your country and perform that at Grandparents' Day for the school? And it was a huge hit. Like people say, like, we have never seen this done before. Like it was awesome hearing songs from different languages. Like there's a song that our custodian. He's like our maintenance man. He tells me I still remember that song that the kindergartners sing, and me, cool. Dasani, our sponsor. So so I do that. I do Grandparents' Day, and I also do other things related, like we play for mass, for other music, and I'm still learning like, there's so much music happening. And I'm still learning like what I'm doing. And so too. So, but yeah, that's essentially my title at St. Jude.
Okay, and I understand you have y'all have a concert coming up, your spring concert.
Yep, April 10th.
Okay, tell us a little about that.
Yeah, so this is our spring concert. So we're performing 2 pieces. The first one is called Blackbeard by Randall Standridge. The second one is Second Line from New Orleans. It's actually called Joe's Avery's Blues. And these are like my standard pieces for a beginning band program. Yeah. So the program I found for band, I'll just talk a little bit about that. It's a small program. I'm used to teaching small programs. So I call it building program.
Yes.
So it used to be big at one point. At one point they had a director from St. Michael's, and also I forgot. So they used to have really good band directors in the past. So what I'm doing is I'm giving them grade 0.5 pieces and grade 1 pieces in order to build up their reading programs, to build the programs essentially. And they've been killing it so far. I mean, we still have room to grow, obviously. I mean, every program has room to grow. You can't say like, we learned how to play eighth notes or scales and that's it. No,
everybody has room to grow. Everybody
has room to grow. Yeah, especially and like most of the students have done really well too. I mean, unfortunately we're losing 2 8th graders. They're gonna go to their feeder schools, but I've done everything to help them prepare for their auditions for high school and all that. So it's really good. I'm really proud of our middle school program.
Good.
Now the second one's the choir program. This I've never taught choir before. So as you know, I'm mainly band. So me going to a choir program that I don't think I have the best voice, but apparently my voice is okay and I could teach it. That was a learning experience. Like I had to contact Dr. Bowers, our previous professor, asking for help. Without him helping me or me going back and finding my old files of like vocal education, I would be struggling right now. So from there, I never thought I would market myself as a choir director, but apparently
Here you are.
The little experience I had was just enough to actually go in and make a better difference. So and I also had one student make it to honor choir this year. So
nice.
the first time ever, like they'd never had a student compete for honor choir. So for me, that's not a win for me, but a win for the students too. It's like, hey, we can do these things. You know? So, just come to practice and it'll be fine. It'll be fine. So, and it's April 10th, and from what I hear, what I'm doing is just making them better than where I found them. So yeah.
Hey, there you go. Yeah. There you go. Yeah. Thurber Music will actually be we'll actually be advertising the live streaming info for Morris Arenas and the St. Jude Catholic School's spring concert. So keep a lookout on our social media for that info. Definitely give it a look. Give it a look.
It's gonna be good.
So, no, you also attend like different workshops from time to time. Yes.
Yeah. Of course, always.
So, what are some of those?
Yeah, so the ones I attend is the Louisiana Music Educators Association. That one's a really good one. They actually just had one in New Orleans, and it was phenomenal. Like it was awesome seeing like everybody in one building, like choir, band, guitar ensemble. I think bell ensemble too.
Wow. Yeah. And first year for the guitar and bell ensemble. I believe.
I think. Well, actually, guitar might be second year.
Guitar might be second,
and bells. I think, from what I know, it might be their first year.
Might be first, okay.
Yeah, so it was awesome. And, like, I learned more from the clinicians than anybody else. Like, I would just sit in there in the room and just listen and see, hey, what are these pros in these fields? How are they teaching? And what are they teaching?
Yeah.
And I got so much notes, just like, whoa, he said this, and the kids ate it up, and they responded like that. I'm like, I'm going to steal that. I'm going to steal that. Because, like, essentially... the reason I go to these workshops is because I feel like I'm still a student. I'm still learning. I'm still learning how to be better at what I do. So yeah, going to workshops, great thing. Second thing is going to anything that involves whether it's conducting a vocal workshop, doing anything that you can learn still. It's going to be better in the long run. Mm-hmm. I go to it's called Red Stick Orff. So I do the Orff approach, and if you don't know what that is, it's essentially like you're combining dance, music, acting, and drama into music, and you're collaborating with students. So it's very good with like getting students working with each other and learning instruments in a very fun and safe environment. So learning from those teachers too in that community with the Orff community. Super awesome, yeah. And they have like a workshop like every couple months too. So every month I get to learn something new from a teacher or director, and I always steal. I don't really call it steal. What I mean by stealing is like you're just borrowing content from other educators who have done these things, and that's why you go to these things to learn. Yeah, so if you knew everything, if you knew everything, you wouldn't be where you are right now. You'll be at like some kind of university, some multi-million-dollar performance act. You wouldn't be where you are. So yeah, so going to these things, best thing you can do as an educator.
So you always want to be a lifelong learner.
Yes, lifelong learner. Yeah. Yes. So yeah, it never stops. Even when you think you know it, you don't. It's like so just having that humility to go and learn. And same thing with advertisers. It's saying like going to these people and saying, hey, I want to know more about this. Can you help me? And most of the time they will say, like here's my information, here's my number. Maybe not number, but you never know. They're like, hey, you're really cool. Call me anytime if you have any questions. And
I know like we've both attended conducting clinics before. I know University of Louisiana at Monroe hosts an annual conducting clinic. Dr. Nicholas Bracher, the director of bands there, Dr. Alan Parrish, the associate director of bands there, they put on that clinic every year. I know we've also attended the Louisiana Music Educators Association workshop, which if anybody's unfamiliar what that is, the LMAA. it kind of helps to create a standard of adjudication for band, choir, orchestra in Louisiana.
Yeah.
And even if you're not someone that's looking to become a certified judge, attending those workshops definitely helps you understand what an excellent and superior performance sounds like, and kind of helps the director to understand better how to build your ensemble towards those excellence and superiors.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, because like it definitely helps the standardizing, and what I like about it is like it's literally a rubric of like what is superior, what is not superior.
Yeah.
I kind of think of it like, okay, where are you leaning? Are you leaning more towards like you're playing correct notes and rhythms, but your sound is not good, like your intonation, and it helps conceptualize like what should you be listening for and how should you be, and what you should do the next rehearsal to improve on those skills. So yeah, it's like, are you focusing too much on rhythm and notes, or there's other things like intonation, like balance, balance, and also score studying too, right? Like knowing your score and what to listen for too. And
I remember at LSU we took a conducting class with Dr. Simon Holowico, and one of his big focuses was like, if you want to be a successful director, you need to score study well.
Yeah.
And we learned a lot about just how to score study from him. And I remember there was a software, Variations Audio Timeliner, I believe.
Yeah.
And we'll provide a website link for Variations Audio Timeliner in the description of this episode. Definitely recommend giving that a look if you're a music educator, or if you're an aspiring music educator. So I know I still use that.
Yeah.
Yes.
I used to use it.
So, before we wrap up here, Mr. Arena, give some closing remarks. Give some closing remarks, and give some advice on to anybody that's listening to us today.
Yeah, I would say when it comes to no matter what you do, music, anything, talk to people in the field who are more experienced than you, and learn from those people. Even conversations like this, like you can still learn as well, and do your research too. Like figure out what is it that you want in your program, and look for it too. Like I use so many websites, so many resources I've collected, and I just kind of keep them in a file somewhere where I can find them in the back of my mind. So that way I know like, hey, like I want to work on this. I can find this resource, this video, this whatever, in order to find it. So essentially, like if you want to go into music, or if you want to go to anything, go in there, guns blazing. Like this is what I want to do. This is who I am, and be okay with taking risks. Be okay with taking mistakes. Or doing mistakes too, or saying especially I learned to say like I'm sorry too, like go into humility, knowing like, hey, no matter what you do, how you do it, go in there doing your best, especially with music too. Like music's such a broad field. There's so many there's so many great people out there you can learn from, as well. So to take it from me, I always feel like you can always learn. And and take any opportunity that you can to improve, or just to learn in general. So, and hopefully you get to learn something, with this conversation, or learn something, or be exposed to some other aspects of music too.
Awesome. Well, Morris, thank you for joining us in the practice room. To our viewers and our listeners, thank you for hearing Morris Arena's story here in the practice room. We'll see you next Wednesday for episode 4. Thank you. And as always, keep practicing.
Keep practicing. Yeah.
Keep practicing.